I think we came to know through somebody, somebody we knew who had spoken to Charushala ma'am, and I think that's when we went and we met her. First time we met her, we didn't even know university. We just knew we knew her. We met her, and I think we could see somebody who had the expertise in this area, and I think that gave us confidence, to make sure that Samarth can actually continue, under her guidance.
During our association with the person associated, and I'd like to name Ragini here, was that she kept assuring me whenever there were times that, other results were coming out. She says, "Ma'am, don't worry. My work is to make Samarth sit and board the flight and onboard his journey to his best and dream college." And that kept, assuring us that yes, things will move in the positive directions, and the way it was told, it was communicated to us, I think it's left a complete mark on us. And yes, I got a text after he boarded the flight, "Ma'am, it's done." So it's commendable. Thank you so much.
I think the most important part was what is the right list of colleges to apply. Second was what was the right sequence of steps. When to give the exam, when to prepare for the project, when to file for the forms, and last, how do you do an overall financial planning to have an idea how can you financially plan over the next 4 years for the child. I think those are top three things for us.
Like challenges before coming to University Connection, I'd say firstly was, as my father mentioned, making a nice college list. It can include target schools, dream schools, reaches and everything. So I had to understand not to be over ambitious and not to be under ambitious, and I think this is what I was able to achieve. And the next thing would be making sure that the activities that I'm doing, are they meaningful and how can I make them more meaningful for the process. So yeah, those were my main two things I wanted to address before coming here.
I think for us, it was a great journey. Right from the starting, we did strike a chord with both the management as well as the mentor, and I think from the very beginning itself, the camaraderie between the mentor and the student helped us, to really understand what were the strengths of the student, what are the areas you need to work on, and I think from the very day itself, we were on a joint project together, and what really helped us was that their ability to guide. Their ability to actually guide the child at places, especially when it came around selecting the right activities, amplifying those activities, and even when to the right time to give the exams and to plan for the forms. So I think the end to end, it was a great partnership with the University Connection.
Yeah, so personally for me, it was a really positive experience as well, and it ended the right way as well. But yeah, so I'd say that in the starting when we had a nice session with Charushala ma'am, that basically a session with a lot of students where we wrote about our strengths and everything really helped UC identify what our key strengths are in the application, and then throughout the next 1.5 years they actually made us amplify those strengths, so which was really nice. And Charushala ma'am was able to identify it really well. And another really positive experience, as my father mentioned, was my a relationship with my mentor and how they worked with me on a personal level for 1.5 years. And for me, my mentor Ragini was really supportive with all my essays and activities, and I felt like she could reach out to me and I could reach out to her at any point, and it was not like a completely how it is between a teacher and a student, more like it was a collaborative process applying. So yeah, it was pretty positive for me in that sense as well.
Yes, we are still in touch with her. I think even after we Samarth got admission, how to plan for the first few days of the college, the first semester, and I think that was very, very important for us. We are in touch with her. Even when Samarth comes now, he makes a point to talk to her mentor, and I think that's his own way of being connected back to University Connection.
So the mentor was really proactive since the beginning, since 11th grade. So once we were able to identify what my key strengths are in the application, my mentor helped me gain relevant opportunities in that field. They helped me plan my application. So with my mentor, I was able to completely plan my entire roadmap from my tests to the application to my activities and everything. So essentially my mentor played a really, really helpful role in planning. And after that, another really important place where the mentor helped me was with my essays. So it was a very tedious process where we had 30 colleges that we were applying to, and my mentor was ready to help me and edit all of my essays. So this was really, really helpful, and I don't think I could have done it without my mentor. So yeah, kudos to Ragini.
I mean, absolutely. Our experience, university connections, both with Charushila ma'am as well as Samarth's mentor Ragini was amazing. And I think the whole process was something which gave us great comfort. I think we had trust in them, and they made sure that they were able to amplify and polish Samarth's achievements. So I think in the end, and it all ended well for us. Samarth did get into his dream college. So I think from that point of view, we are very, very happy, and we would highly recommend to anybody who plans to send their children abroad.
I'd say a good 11 because, as my father mentioned, UC has supported me since the beginning of the process with, both my mentor and, Charushila ma'am, everyone being really supportive throughout the journey. And, normally this process is really stressful for the person because you need to take into consideration test scores, your application, your school exams. So we were perfectly able to make a journey in which I felt that everything was prioritized and it didn't pile up to make it really stressful for the student. So that's something that really, UC was able to help me achieve, and then, yeah. Alright, so I guess the main notable universities that I'd like to talk about. So I got into universities across 4 countries, US, UK, Canada, and India as well. So the top CS programs that I believe I was able to crack were, firstly, the one I committed to, which was UC Berkeley for computer science. Then I'd say University of Toronto for computer science as well. Out there I received a scholarship of a few $1,000s. Then I was able to crack University of Waterloo for software engineering. And there I was able to get the International Student Scholarship of, I believe, $15,000 CAD. And I was also able to get into University College London for computer science as well, and a few other ones such as University of Edinburgh, University of Wisconsin-Madison, and even Ashoka in India in case I didn't want to go outside. So yeah.
I think we started just after class 10, 10th board exams, and he had just finished it, and I personally believe that was a good time to start. It wasn't too early, wasn't too late, and gave us 2 full years where Samarth can first work, get his SATs out of the way, start planning on his profile. And the way he balanced it, by the time he came to class 12, his profile was ready, his SATs were done, and he could then go and do his proper board exams. So I think in overall, if I look back, in starting post your 10th boards was the right time to start.
I completely agree with my father there that, right after 10th grade, when you have a small period of free time, is a very good time to start, because before that is too early, after that I believe is slightly late. So honestly, if you're able to start there, and start planning what activities you want to prioritize that you've done in the past. So yeah, that's a good time. And then after that, you can, plan to take your first standardized exams in the end of 11th grade itself, which are SATs or ACTs, your call. And then after that, you can take more exams like subject tests, and then prioritize your school exams as well and the application. So yeah, early 11th grade is a pretty good time to start.
My advice to only aspiring students is that this is almost like a marathon. It's not a 1-2 month short burst and race. So it's very important you pace yourself well. There will be a mix of school exams, mix of SATs, and a mix of your your extracurricular profile activities. So it's very important to pace them out. And secondly, it's a stressful process to be cool, be close to your families, have a good mentor, which is very important as you accelerate your journey.
So yeah, I have a few pieces of advice. So firstly, it'll be to start your activities early. The college application process itself can start around 11th grade. But the thing is, the most meaningful activities that students have, they normally stem from the stuff they've done around 9th grade and even 10th grade. So if you genuinely have a passion, start early. Don't wait for 11th grade to come. Because if you start all of your activities, in 11th and 12th, colleges are kind of going to see through that. And another point that arises from that is, be genuine, be authentic, and completely emphasize on the parts that you believe have been essential to your life. So personally, for me, it was related to, stuff that I've done in terms of computer science and programming. And I was really, able to elaborate on that, how I use my skills and for social good, for my school, etc. So just be genuine mainly in this aspect and start early. And then the next thing is that, you can't expect everything to be perfect from your, your grades to your marks and everything. So just don't get unnerved if something goes wrong. You might take the SAT a couple of times. You might not ace a particular school exam of yours, but keep in mind that college admission officers know that you're human and there would be some mistakes. It's just that if you're able to put your best foot forward. So yeah. Honestly, it's been quite nice. It's been a great journey. A college like Berkeley is super academic focused, and they put a large emphasis on doing stuff inside and outside of university. So I believe that takes up a huge portion of my week, like being involved in internships and then clubs as well outside of classes, and then all the classes expect a high workload from you. So it's pretty tough to achieve a good work-life balance, but I think it's very, very important to also prioritize making friends and forming important relationships with people in the starting of the college, because when the stress increases and when your commitments increase, falling back on your important friends that you've made in college can be really nice. And it's important to take out time aside for working and time aside for everything else, because you really need to focus on your mental health as well, which is something which is slightly tough at UC Berkeley, as there are more students than you'd expect in like private universities. But again, if you're able to strike a good balance and you're able to be on top of your work since day one, it should not be the hardest, especially for an Indian applicant, in my opinion. So yeah, it's been tricky, but yeah, I've been able to navigate it till now. Alright, so that's a pretty good question and something I've struggled with, but I've been able to achieve by now. So it's definitely tough to ration out time for academics and then extracurricular activities, and at the same time, as I said, your friends and making new friends. But I guess in the end it comes to your priorities in life and your major. Like, I personally know that my major at Berkeley involves a lot of time commitment, so I need to give a good amount per day studying and finishing my homework assignments, then finishing deliverables for my club and the clients, and then after that socializing with my friends as well. So as an international applicant, our education system is not the same, and also we're not used to being that independent on our own. So in the starting, there'll be tough times where you need to figure out how to do laundry, how to procure food, and at the same time not just learn the material, but also learn how to learn in college. So it's the main thing is just that talk to your seniors, talk to your friends, and whenever you're struggling, just ask people around, and I believe genuinely you'll be able to navigate the process, because yearly thousands of people also go through the same thing, and in the end they're able to make it out. So just believe in yourself and start early.
So I think as a parent, for me the best part was the guidance that we got from Charushila ma'am. And we had even taken out time, and that was COVID time, so we got through a Zoom call, Samarth used to explain the projects that he's doing and the guidance further. It's really helped him in overall shaping up the project and improvising. So that was a very big advantage. And the most important point additionally was our and Samarth's association with how it helped on the person associated on the projects with Samarth, which was Ragini. It was more of a personal way, the way it was dealt with, and we got a lot of directions. And the comfort was also very, very good, that she made it very comfortable and assured us at all times that things will go and fall the right place. So I think those were the points I would like to add, which helped him in overall Samarth in achieving what he wanted in life.
And just to add on over here in terms of projects, when they felt like they could not provide me with like the technical I could say technical standpoint on a project, they'd connect me with someone who knew the technicalities of what I was working on. Like, let's say a project related to like creating a portrait for my school or something. So they were like able to connect me with a past student or someone doing CS, and like they were able to talk to me about that. So this way I got the technical guidance as well when doing my projects. And yeah, as my mother mentioned, the mental reassurance part is pretty nice, because there were times when you'd feel like, is this gonna work out? And we were told that yes, it would, judging by how you're working. So yeah, definitely.